Okay, this is our discussion. I'm Judson Toomas. This is our discussion about Hold Paramount Chapter 2. We're going to be discussing on being professional and codes of ethics. Now, being professional isn't just a statement we sometimes make, but it actually has specific criteria which have to be met. Some of those include...
Being a professional means you have an extensive tertiary training and or education. You practice an art that requires significant intellectual development. You provide an important service to the public. You're certified or licensed by the state. You have an organization that practices self-regulation and controls entrance to the field. You're given special power by the state in return for a commitment to the public good. And you belong to an organization that has a code of ethics.
Okay, so not all people that we consider professionals then necessarily adhere to all that. Like, say a hairdresser might not be, gives the example of a barber. They might be licensed by the state, but they're really not professionals because what they do doesn't really require significant intellectual development. No offense to the barbers out there. But, and they really don't have extensive education on it. But as engineers, we a lot of times need a code of ethics beyond our worldview or the things we believe. We have a code of ethics just to give professional standards to everybody of what is acceptable and what is not. Now, we have the IEE, the Institute for Electrical and Electronics Engineers Code of Ethics. It states, "We, the members of the IEEE, in recognition of the importance of our technologies in affecting the quality of life throughout the world, and in accepting a personal obligation to our profession, its members and the communities we serve do hereby commit ourselves to the highest ethical and professional conduct, and agree
to accept responsibility in making engineering decisions consistent with the safety, health, and welfare of the public, and to disclose promptly factors that might endanger the public or the environment, to avoid real or perceived conflicts of interest whenever possible, and to disclose them to affected parties when they do exist." What the heck? To be honest and realistic in stating claims or estimates based on available data, to reject bribery in all its forms, and to improve the understanding of technology, its appropriate application, and potential consequences.
Okay, 6 through 10 say, to maintain and improve our technological competence and to undertake technological tasks for others only if qualified by training or experience, or after full disclosure of pertinent limitations. To seek, accept, and offer honest criticism of technical work, to acknowledge and correct errors, and to credit properly the contributions of others. To treat fairly all persons regardless of such factors as race, religion, gender, disability, age, or national origin. To avoid injuring others, their property, reputation, or employment by false or malicious action. To assist colleagues and co-workers in their professional development, and to support them by following this code of ethics. Now, this is approved by the Institute of Electrical and Electronics Engineers Board of Directors, August 1990. Typically, codes of ethics have two types of statements that reflect morality: admonitions and requirements. An example of admonition, it's more like a suggestion of what engineers should do in a certain situation, like maybe continue education so they keep cutting edge, or a requirement such as, like,
engineers shall approve or seal only those design documents reviewed or prepared by them which are determined to be safe for public health and welfare in conformity with accepted engineer standards. And that's guideline 1B from the ASCE Code of Ethics.
Okay, so basically says that engineers, first and foremost, our responsibility to the public is to keep them safe, have their well-being in mind, and that's also a Christian attitude towards the public as well. Now, so sort of summing all this up, as engineers, we have codes which we can apply by, we can adhere to. We have different ethical models, but it all comes down to, you know, there's still decisions that are hard to make sometimes, and that we have to decide as people whether they're going to be right or wrong, because these codes are really just guides to us. So in conclusion, engineers need ethics for a couple reasons. One of the main ones, of course, is to give kind of a framework for everybody to work off of what's acceptable and what's not. Now, this is because not everybody has the same worldview, not everybody has the same convictions about things, and maybe wouldn't feel wrong about doing something that really is. So The codes give us a good framework to show us those things. Now, engineers aren't the only ones with codes. For example, here we have the ILRC Code of Conduct. It talks about general behavior, you know, what's acceptable and what's not. And when it comes down to it, that's what codes of ethics are about. What's acceptable for engineers and what's not. When it comes to engineering, sometimes that could result in life or death.